You've been trying so hard to be everything for everyone. You give and give, hoping that one day someone might give back the way you do. You care deeply. You want to help. And maybe you've gotten used to putting yourself last. But something inside you is whispering that it's time for a change. That little voice is telling you, you matter too. And it's right. You do matter. You matter not because of what you do for others, not because of how much you sacrifice, but simply because you exist. Right now, in this moment, you are worthy of love, attention, and care. It's not selfish to focus on yourself. It's necessary. You cannot give from an empty cup. When you're tired, overwhelmed, or lost in trying to meet everyone else's needs, your spirit becomes drained. But when you turn your attention inward, when you begin to give yourself even a small portion of the love you give others, something beautiful begins to happen. You begin to feel alive again. It's okay if this feels strange at first. Many of us were never taught how to love ourselves. We were told to be kind, to serve, to care for others, but not to prioritize our own hearts. But the truth is, you deserve your own love more than anyone else. And when you love yourself deeply and sincerely, you actually have more love to offer the world. You're not shutting people out. You're just filling yourself up so that you can shine from a place of strength. Every single time you choose to give yourself care, rest, peace, or encouragement, you're building a better foundation inside. And this foundation will support you through everything life brings your way. Begin with simple words. Say them to yourself, slowly, gently. It is safe for me to focus on myself. I am worthy of my own love. Say it again, even if it feels a little awkward. These are healing words. They carry power. The moment you begin to care for yourself as tenderly as you would a loved one in pain, you begin a transformation. Life becomes less about proving your worth and more about enjoying your presence. You feel more at peace, more rooted. You stop chasing people who can't see you. You stop trying to explain your heart to those who never tried to understand it. You stop needing outside approval because the approval you've been missing was always your own. This isn't about shutting out the world. It's about welcoming yourself back home. You are not the problem. You are the answer you've been seeking. The love you want is already inside you, waiting to be noticed. Your inner being has never left you. It's just been waiting patiently, through all the noise and distraction, for you to turn inward and say, I'm here now. I'm ready to love myself. And when you do that, everything begins to change. Everything begins to heal. You remember who you are. You remember that you were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to become it. You are enough, just as you are. And it is safe. It is beautiful. It is powerful to focus on yourself. This is your time now. Everything in life begins with focus. What you pay attention to becomes stronger. If you keep watering a flower, it grows. If you keep feeding a thought, it expands. This is a quiet truth of life, and it lives in everything you do. So when your energy is spread thin, when your focus is on what others think, how others act, or what others expect, you begin to feel pulled in too many directions. You lose connection to your own center. And when that happens, it's easy to feel lost, anxious, or even invisible. But the good news is you can always come back. You can always return to yourself. You don't have to chase anyone or anything. Just bring your focus inward. Take a breath. Say softly, I choose to focus on what brings me peace. That one decision can shift everything. There is power in your attention. Where you place it shapes your world. If your mind is full of worries, they will grow louder. But if your thoughts are planted in kindness, in hope, in belief that things can get better, then that's the garden you'll grow. Think of your thoughts as seeds. Each one carries life. When you water loving thoughts, they bloom into experiences that bring joy. When you water fear, it grows tangled and wild. But you are not helpless. You are the gardener. And you can choose which thoughts get your care. You can gently say, I focus on thoughts that uplift me. I choose to feel good about myself today. No one else needs to approve. No one else needs to agree. This is between you and your heart. This shift doesn't happen all at once. But every time you catch yourself focusing on the past or worrying about someone else's opinion, just bring yourself back. Touch your heart. Breathe slowly. Remember your power. You are not here to please everyone. You are here to live your truth, and your truth is enough. Begin by noticing where your energy goes throughout the day. Do you spend hours thinking about people who have hurt you? Do you replay conversations that left you feeling small? These patterns are like leaks. They drain your energy. And the moment you become aware of them is the moment you can begin to heal. You can gently choose to stop. You can gently choose to return to peace. Give yourself permission to be selective with your focus. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every thought is worth believing. You have the power to choose. And when you begin choosing thoughts that are kind, thoughts that encourage, thoughts that bring you closer to love, you begin to build a life that reflects those thoughts. There is no rush, no pressure, just practice, just presence. And with each day, it gets easier. You will notice more peace. You will feel more centered. You will begin to attract people and situations that reflect your inner calm. All because you chose to take your power back through focus. You are the center of your own life, and where you place your attention shapes everything you experience. Focus on yourself, not because you're selfish, but because you are sacred. Many of us were raised believing we had to earn love, that to be accepted, we had to fit in, meet expectations, be agreeable, and not cause trouble. Slowly, without realizing it, we began to look outside ourselves for approval. We started asking silent questions every day. Do you like me? Did I do enough? Am I worthy now? And each time someone's opinion changed, our sense of self changed with it. This can leave you feeling unsure of who you really are. But you don't have to live that way anymore. You can stop reaching outward and begin reaching inward. The only approval that truly matters is your own, and you can give it to yourself right now. It begins with simple words. Say to yourself, I approve of myself. I trust myself. I am proud of who I am. It may feel strange at first, but these words are medicine. They fill the spaces that once felt empty. You don't need to be perfect to approve of yourself. You only need to be honest, kind, and willing to see your own beauty. When you stop waiting for others to tell you you're enough, you free yourself. You no longer need to chase love. You become it. That's when the healing begins. Start by noticing when you give your power away. Is it when someone criticizes you? When they ignore you? When they don't support you the way you hoped? These are moments to pause, to breathe, and to remind yourself, I am still whole. I am still worthy. I do not need their approval to love myself. This is not about being hard or distant. This is about coming home to yourself. When you love and accept who you are, no one can take that away from you, not even on your worst day. You might try mirror work. Stand in front of your reflection, look into your own eyes and say, I love you. I'm listening now. At first, it may feel emotional or awkward. That's okay. Stay with it. The more you do this, the more you'll feel a shift. Your heart will begin to open. The walls will come down. You'll start to see yourself not as someone broken or unworthy, but as someone learning, growing, and deeply deserving of love. You are allowed to be proud of yourself. You are allowed to speak kindly to yourself. You are allowed to set standards for how others treat you. Not because you're arrogant, but because you now know your worth. Releasing the need for validation doesn't make you cold. It makes you free. And freedom is what your soul has been longing for. You don't have to wait another day. You can begin now. Affirm your worth. Approve of yourself. And know that the love you've been searching for is already within you. When you begin to truly focus on yourself, it helps to create little rituals that bring you back to your center each day. These don't have to be big or time-consuming. Even the smallest act of self-love has the power to shift your whole day. You might wake up in the morning, look into the mirror and say, "Good morning. I love you. I'm here for you." These words are gentle, but they are powerful. They start your day with kindness instead of criticism. They tell your body, your heart, and your mind that you matter, that you are seen, that you are safe. Simple daily practices create deep healing over time. You can keep a journal by your bed and write one loving thought each night before sleep. Something like, "Today I did my best, and that is enough." Or, "I choose peace tonight." These small steps are like watering the roots of a strong tree. They grow your confidence and help you stay grounded even when the world feels uncertain. You don't need to fix everything at once. Just commit to showing up for yourself a little more each day. Sometimes the most powerful ritual is simply sitting in silence and breathing, placing your hand over your heart and saying, "I am here." In that quiet moment, you return to yourself. You stop running. You stop pretending. You come home. This is where true strength begins, not from doing more, but from being present, from knowing you are enough even when you're doing nothing at all. That's the kind of love your soul has been longing for. You can also try writing letters to yourself. Kind, understanding letters like you would write to a dear friend. Tell yourself how proud you are. Tell yourself how strong you've been. Remind yourself that even on your hardest days, you've never truly given up. These words become anchors. They help you remember your worth when the storms of life come. There is so much power in choosing yourself on purpose. Not just once, but again and again, through daily loving acts. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about being honest with how you feel and gentle with how you respond to those feelings. It's about creating space in your life where your heart feels heard. Every time you pause to say an affirmation like, "Every day I choose myself with love," you are rewiring your mind to recognize your value. You are setting a new standard for how you deserve to be treated, not just by others, but by yourself. Your daily rituals don't need to look like anyone else's. They are yours. They are sacred. They are a promise you make to yourself. I will not abandon me. I will not ignore my needs. I will not rush past my feelings. I will listen. I will care. I will love myself into healing. This quiet commitment becomes a new way of living, one that brings peace, clarity, and joy back into your life. Inside every adult lives a younger version of themselves, a little child who once needed love, attention, and safety. And many of us have carried this child through life without even realizing it. Maybe they felt unseen. Maybe they were told they had to be perfect to be loved. Maybe they had to grow up too fast. And even now, as adults, we may still carry the pain that child felt. But when we begin to focus on ourselves, we also begin to hear the voice of that inner child. They aren't gone. They're just waiting for us to notice them, waiting for us to care. You can begin this healing by closing your eyes and imagining yourself as a small child, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Look at that child. See the innocence, the softness, the need for love. And then say to them, I see you. I'm here now. I'm sorry you felt alone, but I'm here, and I'm never leaving you again. These words can unlock something powerful. They help you begin a new relationship with yourself, one rooted in care and deep understanding. When you love your inner child, you start to understand your own emotions better. You become more patient with yourself. You stop being so hard on yourself when you make mistakes, because you realize you've been doing your best with what you've known. You realize that the fear, the doubt, the shame, it was never your fault. It was just the result of not feeling safe or seen. And now you have the power to change that. Now you can say, I am here for me. Affirmations like, I see you, little one. You are loved and I'm here now, can be healing in ways that words can't fully explain. They soften the pain. They calm the storm. They allow your heart to begin trusting again. It's not about pretending the past didn't happen. It's about giving yourself the love today that you may not have received back then. And when you do, everything begins to shift. Your nervous system relaxes. Your body feels safer. Your thoughts become kinder. This is how deep healing happens, not by pushing pain away, but by holding it with love. You don't have to go back and fix everything. You only need to offer your presence, to sit with yourself and say, I will never leave you again. This kind of love is rare, but you can give it to yourself every single day. That little child inside you has waited long enough. They deserve to be cherished. And you are the one who can do it. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to prove anything. You only have to be willing to show up, listen, and love. The rest will follow. As you begin this journey of inner focus, something beautiful starts to happen in the outer world. When you stop chasing, when you stop begging for attention, when you stop trying to prove your worth to others, you become still. And in that stillness, the universe begins to respond to you in a new way. You are no longer sending out the signal of desperation or fear. You are sending out a signal of peace, of wholeness, of self-trust. And the world cannot help but respond to that vibration. You start to attract things that match your inner calm. People who see you, respect you, and value you begin to show up. Opportunities begin to flow. And you realize that the magic wasn't in trying harder. It was in aligning with yourself. This is how the universe works. It reflects what we believe about ourselves. If we believe we are not enough, we'll keep attracting situations that make us feel that way. But when we believe we are worthy, when we act from a place of inner love and clarity, the outside world begins to mirror that belief. You don't have to force it. You don't have to figure it all out. Just continue to turn inward and ask, what feels true for me right now? That question will guide you more than any outside opinion ever could. You may begin to notice synchronicities, moments that feel like signs or small miracles. These are not coincidences. These are gentle reminders that your energy is shifting. You're no longer reacting to life. You're co-creating with it. You're no longer begging for a seat at the table. You're building your own. This is the quiet power of inner alignment. And it all begins with focus. Affirm to yourself, as I focus on my wholeness, life aligns to support me. You don't need to chase love. You don't need to chase success. You simply need to become so in tune with yourself that what's meant for you begins to find its way. It's like becoming the sun. The sun doesn't beg the flowers to bloom. It simply shines, and the flowers grow toward it. That's what happens when you focus on your healing, your joy, your peace. You become magnetic, not because of what you do, but because of who you are when you stop abandoning yourself. There is no pressure here, no rush, just a deep invitation to trust that the more you care for yourself, the more the universe will care for you. The more you align with your truth, the more life will open doors that are a perfect match for your soul. This is not about being perfect. This is about being real, being present, being loving toward yourself. And as you continue this journey, you'll see life has been waiting to support you all along. You may start to realize that much of your stress and confusion comes from trying to live up to what others expect of you. Maybe you've been trying to be agreeable, trying to fit into molds that don't feel right anymore. Maybe you've been caught in the cycle of people-pleasing, of saying yes when your heart is crying no. It's easy to get lost when your life is built around what others want, rather than what you truly feel. But you are not here to please everyone. You are not here to carry the weight of everyone's opinions. You are here to be you, fully, freely, and truthfully. It is okay to step back from the noise. It is okay to let go of the drama. It is okay to disappoint others if it means you are finally being honest with yourself. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to say, "This no longer feels right for me." You are allowed to walk away from situations, habits, or people who drain your spirit. That is not cruelty. It is self-respect. When you stop letting others pull you in every direction, you begin to feel grounded. You begin to hear your own voice again. That voice has wisdom. That voice has clarity. And when you follow it, life becomes simpler. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to honor what you feel. Say to yourself, "It is safe for me to set boundaries and follow my truth." These words are not only affirming, they are powerful reminders that you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to have preferences, needs, and values that are different from others. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to be understood by everyone to be at peace with yourself. When you let go of the need to control how others see you, you set yourself free. Some people will not understand your path, and that's okay. You are not here to walk anyone else's road. You are here to live your truth with grace and courage. Like a tree that doesn't chase the wind, you remain rooted, strong, and steady in who you are. You don't need to follow the crowd. You are allowed to slow down, to say no, to create space between you and what no longer serves you. Take a moment today to ask yourself, what am I no longer available for? Write it down. Let it be a quiet promise between you and your soul. You do not have to accept less than you deserve just to keep the peace. The real peace comes when you honor your own boundaries, when you stop sacrificing your well-being to keep others comfortable. This is your life. You get to choose how it feels. And when you start choosing yourself, everything begins to change. You stop apologizing for your needs. You stop shrinking to fit. You stand tall in your truth, and you do it with love. When you focus on yourself, not from a place of pride, but from a place of peace, you begin to glow. It's not loud. It's not desperate. It's quiet, but undeniable. You become magnetic. People feel your energy. They notice something different. They may not be able to explain it, but they sense it. You've stopped chasing. You've stopped trying to prove anything. You've become someone who is deeply comfortable in their own skin. And that is rare. That is beautiful. This kind of energy can't be faked. It comes from doing the inner work, from choosing yourself daily, from standing by yourself even when others don't, from affirming again and again, I am enough. I love who I am becoming. You begin to walk differently, speak differently. You smile more. You sleep better. You feel lighter, not because life is perfect, but because you are no longer at war with yourself. You have made peace with who you are, and that peace is radiant. You no longer need to force connections. The right people are drawn to your truth. The right situations begin to align without effort. It's not magic, it's alignment. You are no longer trying to be someone you're not. You're simply being who you are. And that wholeness is magnetic. You stop asking, do they like me? And instead ask, do I feel good around them? You stop seeking permission to be yourself. You just are. And it feels so freeing. You don't need the loudest voice in the room. Your presence is your power. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak kindly to yourself, the way you choose peace over drama, it all speaks louder than words ever could. People may not know your story, but they feel your strength. They feel your calm. They feel your self-respect. And that energy speaks for you. Affirm, I radiate from within, and the world feels my light. Let that truth sink in. You are not invisible. You are not behind. You are blooming in your own time. You don't need to rush. You don't need to compare. Just keep choosing yourself. Keep showing up with love. Keep taking care of your inner world. Because when your inner world is whole, your outer world begins to reflect that beauty. And as you become more magnetic, remember, you don't owe your energy to everyone. Just because people are drawn to you doesn't mean you must give pieces of yourself away. You are still allowed to choose. You are still allowed to protect your peace. You are still allowed to rest, recharge, and remain rooted in who you are. That is true power. That is what makes you unstoppable. There's a quiet beauty in appreciating yourself just as you are. Not for what you've achieved, not for what others think of you, but for simply being you. Gratitude for yourself is one of the most healing energies you can practice. When you start to see your own effort, your own growth, your own strength through loving eyes, something begins to change. You stop waiting for others to acknowledge you. you start acknowledging yourself. And in doing so, you strengthen your connection to your inner being. Take a moment now and think of something about yourself that you are grateful for. It could be your ability to keep going through hard times. It could be your compassion. It could be the way you've never given up, even when it hurt. Write it down. Say it out loud. Let it be real. Let it be felt. Affirm, I am proud of who I am becoming. These words are a reflection of your soul's journey. You are not who you once were. You are not stuck. You are not behind. You are unfolding into something beautiful. Gratitude brings peace to the present moment. It helps us see what's working instead of always focusing on what's missing. It turns our attention toward light, even on the darkest days. And the more you practice gratitude for yourself, the more you begin to recognize your growth. You begin to feel proud of how far you've come, not because someone else told you to, but because you finally see it for yourself. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest. It's about looking at yourself and saying, I am doing my best, and that is something to celebrate. Each step you've taken, each lesson you've learned, each time you chose healing instead of staying stuck, it all matters. It all counts. And you deserve to feel good about it. Let gratitude become a daily habit. Each night, write down 5 things you're grateful for, especially things about yourself. Maybe it's, I was kind today, or I spoke my truth, or I rested when I needed to. These moments are sacred. They build a new foundation. They teach your heart that it is okay to be proud. It is okay to love yourself. It is okay to feel joy for who you are becoming. You are allowed to celebrate yourself. You are allowed to look in the mirror and smile. You are allowed to see yourself as someone who is worthy of love, not later, but now. Gratitude helps you do that. It helps you slow down, breathe, and recognize the miracle that is your life. And the more you honor your journey, the more you feel connected to it. You become the source of your own happiness. You become the one you've been waiting for. You've come so far, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Choosing yourself isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Every time you decide to focus on your peace, your healing, your truth, you're planting seeds. And even if you don't see the results right away, those seeds are growing in silence, in stillness, in strength. You are becoming someone new, someone whole, someone who doesn't need to chase, perform, or pretend anymore. This journey isn't about changing everything overnight. It's about showing up every day with a little more love, a little more patience, a little more honesty. It's about saying, I may not have all the answers, but I trust myself enough to keep going. That's what makes the difference. That's what transforms your life from the inside out. Keep choosing yourself, even when it's hard, even when it feels lonely, even when the world doesn't understand. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to be true to your own soul, to live a life that feels right for you. And that begins by focusing on yourself with care, with compassion, and with commitment. Let these words stay with you. I love myself more each day, and life loves me back. Let this be your daily truth. Let it guide you when doubt creeps in. Let it remind you that you are not alone, that you are not broken, that you are worthy of all the love you give so freely to others. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are awakening. And the more you awaken, the more you see that everything you were looking for was always within you. Your peace, your joy, your purpose. It's all been waiting for your attention, your focus, your love. So take a deep breath, place your hand over your heart, and remember, this is your time now. This is your sacred path. Keep walking, keep loving, keep choosing you, and watch how life begins to rise up to meet you again and again with grace.